Hello everyone. I, Assistant Professor Zinkal Patel from Rafael BCA College, welcome you all to the channel Object Oriented Programming. Now, in this unit of inheritance, we had completed type of inheritance. Now, today we are going to cover a new topic, that is execution of base class constructor in inheritance. And the kind of question can be asked in examination, like explain constructor in derived class, or as I said, execution of base class constructor in inheritance. Now, as we know that constructor play an important role in initializing object, right? Actually, till now I did not use them in program, right? Because of simplicity. But today I am going to explain constructor in inheritance. Here, constructor is used to initialize object, but in inheritance important thing to remember is that no base class constructor take any argument when the derived class need not have a constructor. If base class have not any constructor, then derived class need not have a constructor. But if any base class contain a constructor with one or more argument, then it is mandatory for derived class to have a constructor and pass argument to the base class constructor. So here, if a base class constructor contain one or more argument, then it is necessary for derived class to have a constructor, right? So through derived class we can pass argument to the base class constructor, right? Now let me clear one thing also. Like when we apply inheritance, we usually create object using the derived class, right? So here we compulsory need the derived class constructor. So through that constructor, we can pass argument to the base class constructor. And in such situation, like if both the derived class and base class contain constructor, then the base class constructor is executed first and then the constructor in derived class is executed. Okay, for example, here I explain it, like base class and derived class here with their constructor. Now suppose if we create object of derived class, then first constructor of base class will execute it and the constructor of this derived class will execute, right? Now in case of multiple inheritance, the base class are constructed in order in which they appear in the declaration of derived class. Like here I declare one base class base 1 and another base class base 2. उनके constructor है base 1 and base 2, right? Now these both the base class are derived in another class, child class, we can say it as derived class. Now here I declare one constructor of derived class, right? So here in this case, फॉर एग्जाम्पल हमने डिराइव क्लास का ऑब्जेक्ट क्रिएट किया, देन दिस डिराइव क्लास ऑब्जेक्ट first call constructor of base class 1, that is base 1. Then after it will call constructor of base 2 and at the end it will call the constructor of this derived class, right? Understood this example? Now similarly, in multi-level inheritance, the constructor will be executed in the order of inheritance. Like here, the first base class is grandparent, and the second intermediate class is parent class, and from this class another class is derived, that is child class. So in this case, first जो है कौन सा कंस्ट्रक्टर कॉल होगा? फर्स्ट वन इट विल एग्जीक्यूट ग्रैंड पेरेंट कंस्ट्रक्टर and then after parent constructor, then at the end it will call derived class constructor. So it will execute it in the order of inheritance, right? Now how we can initialize value of base class variable, intermediate class variable or child class variable. Let me explain that. Here I write the general form of defining a derived class constructor. Like here, the header line of derived constructor function contain two parts separately. Like first part provide this one. This part provide the declaration of the argument that are passed to the derived constructor, and the second part lists this one that lists the function call to the base constructor. Like here base 1 in bracket argument 1, base 2 in bracket argument 2 are function call to the base class constructor base 1 base 2 respectively, and it represents the actual parameters that are passed to the base class constructor, right? Like here argument 1 जो है वो base class data variable का पास होगा, argument 2 है जो base 2 का original data member है उसको पास होगा, right? So arglist 1 through arglist n are the argument declaration for all the base class constructor like base 1 through base n, and later on at the last, like here it will execute the body of derived class. So here the derived class take the responsibility of supplying initial value to its base classes, and we supply the initial value that are required by all the classes together when we supply it when a derived class object is declared, right? So C++ support a special argument passing mechanism for such situation, right? So क्या होता है in this situation? The constructor of the derived class receive the entire list of value as its argument and pass them to the base class constructor in order in which they are declared in the derived class, right? And the base class constructor are called and executed before executing the statement in the body of derived class constructor, right? And at last the arglist D provide the parameters that are necessary to initialize the member of derived class, right? arg1 to argn जो है वो base class constructor के लिए, और last arglist D जो है वो derived class constructor में है, right? Let me explain all the things by one example. Like here I declare one constructor of derived class D, in that I pass value a1, a2, b1, b2 and d1. Here a1 and a2 are variable of base class A, b1 and b2 are constructor data member of base class B, and at the end d1 is passed to the derived class D. So colon एंड देन फर्स्ट क्या कॉल होगा, कॉल टू कंस्ट्रक्टर ए, उसमें दो पैरामीटर पास करने हैं जो A1 कंस्ट्रक्टर को पास करने हैं. देन हियर एग्जीक्यूशन कॉल टू द कंस्ट्रक्टर बी विथ टू पैरामीटर b1 एंड b2, एंड एट द एंड में लास्ट पैरामीटर जो डिराइव्ड क्लास के डेटा वेरिएबल को पास होता है. सो d इक्वल टू d1, सो इट एग्जीक्यूट इट्स ओन बॉडी. सो हियर this statement invoke the base class constructor A, and this statement invoke the another base class constructor of B. So constructor D, this one, constructor D supply the value for these four argument, and it has one argument of its own, that is d1, that is passed to the small d variable, right? So the constructor D has a total of 5 argument. So constructor D may be invoked like here D class का object बनाया हमने obj of D, in that we have pass 5 variable, like 5 जो है वो a1 को होगा पास, 12 जो है वो a2 को, 2.5 B1 को, 7.54 B2 को एंड 30 जो है वो D1 को पास होगा. राइट, क्लियर these things? Now what happen if one class is virtual and one class is normal base class? So the constructor for virtual base class is invoked before any non-virtual base class, and if there are multiple virtual base class, then they are invoked in the order in which they are declared. And if any non-virtual base class are exist, then it is constructed after virtual base class and before derived class constructor is executed. Right, so let me explain it by example. Like here, class B is derived from class A. So first क्लास ए का कंस्ट्रक्टर कॉल होगा, देन आफ्टर डिराइव क्लास बी का कंस्ट्रक्टर कॉल होगा. राइट, नाउ in the second situation class A is derived from two base class B and C. तो यहाँ पे पहला डिक्लेयर जो B क्लास हुआ है तो पहले B क्लास का कंस्ट्रक्टर कॉल होगा, फिर C क्लास का कंस्ट्रक्टर कॉल होगा एंड लास्ट में डिराइव क्लास A का कंस्ट्रक्टर कॉल होगा. नाउ फॉर एग्जांपल B और C में से कोई अगर वर्चुअल क्लास हो, लाइक थर्ड सिचुएशन, तो पहले वर्चुअल क्लास का कंस्ट्रक्टर कॉल होगा, इट मीन्स पहले C का कंस्ट्रक्टर कॉल होगा, फिर नॉन वर्चुअल बेस क्लास मीन्स बी का कंस्ट्रक्टर कॉल होगा एंड एट द एंड ए का कंस्ट्रक्टर कॉल होगा. राइट, होप यू अंडरस्टैंड दिस सिचुएशन ऑफ वर्चुअल बेस क्लास. राइट, नाउ C++ support another method of initializing the class object. These method use what is known as initialization list in the constructor function. Now like for example here हमें कंस्ट्रक्टर लिखना है, फिर आर्ग्यूमेंट लिस्ट देनी है और जितने भी बेस क्लास के वेरिएबल है उसका इनिशियलाइजेशन यहीं पे कर देना है, हमें कंस्ट्रक्टर को कॉल नहीं करना है. ठीक है, डायरेक्टली हमें वैल्यू असाइन इनिशियलाइज कर देनी है और यहाँ पे हम डिराइव क्लास के वेरिएबल को असाइन कर सकते हैं. Right, so here the assignment section is nothing but the body of the constructor function and it is used to assign initial value to its data member of derived class. Right, and the part immediately following the colon, that is initialization section, that is known as initialization section. When we use this section to provide initial value to the base class constructor and also to initialize its own class member. This means that we can use either of the section to initialize the data member of the constructor class. Right, so the initialization section basically contain a list of initialization separate by comma and the list is known as initialization list. For example, here if I want to initialize the value of XYZ class to a particular data member A and B, then हमें क्या करना है, कंस्ट्रक्टर में A और B की वैल्यू पास करनी है और अब यहाँ पे ब्रैकेट में इनिशियलाइज करने की जगह पे हमें क्या लिखना है, कॉलन देन A ब्रैकेट में I, B ब्रैकेट में 2 इंटू जे, मतलब I की वैल्यू फॉर एग्जांपल जब हमने ऑब्जेक्ट क्रिएट किया तो X में 2 पैरामीटर पास किए 2 एंड 3, तो I की वैल्यू क्या हो गई यहाँ पे 2 एंड J की वैल्यू क्या हो गई है 3. ठीक है, तो A को क्या इनिशियलाइज होगा, A की वैल्यू क्या आएगी, A ब्रैकेट में I है तो A इक्वल टू 2 एंड B की वैल्यू क्या आएगी, लाइक 2 इंटू जे, तो 2 इंटू 3 6, तो B इक्वल टू क्या आएगा 6. राइट, तो ऐसे भी हम वैल्यू को इनिशियलाइज कर सकते हैं. Clear these things? Here I explain constructor in derived class, constructor in base class and the execution of constructor in base class as well as in derived class. Right, and yes, how to initialize the data member in inheritance using constructor, that also we'll learn. Right, hope you understand today, and in today's session if you have any query then we will solve in online session or you can message me, I will explain you again. Okay, thank you.